Yeah, kudos to everyone that's been involved lately. Humble, Pag, Dr. Dre does. I mean, all of you guys have been kicking butt. Amazing energy. I obviously haven't been super active in the chat, but I've been watching and looking and seeing what all's being done, all the different raids, all the energy. Amazing job. We are still in the background, perfecting and forming all these plans around how the NFT is going to interact and this and that. There's a lot of scenario building. There's a lot of probability, a lot of math, a lot of, just what's going to work, right? Um, we're very close to buttoning up some things, but with that all going on in the background, it's kind of hard to fully blast out, plans for how we're going to sell and market this, until we have it fully buttoned up. I'm sure we'll touch into that as soon as Matt gets in here. But yeah, we see all the questions going on. I have talked with Matt a good amount, about Telegram. As many of you know, Matt doesn't really like Telegram. I'm willing to take on Telegram, and it seems like there's a decent amount of people that would help out with that initiative. I wasn't there for all of the waves of what, it was. But yeah, definitely, on the board, obviously something that's been brought up a lot. And so yeah, I don't know where we'll start with this as soon as he pops in, but willing to help out and assist however I can. And lots going on in the background around all the different planning for season two and how all the different pieces interact and move together. But amazing job to everyone with all the rating, all the energy. It truly is, it critically vital to any project to have a community that, works together, moves together, flows together. And, that's not just me speaking that, just to say it, that's from experience, that's from just understanding how energy works and, what you put out, what you speak out, and the actions that you take to achieve goals, visions, outcomes can't be said lightly. It all breathes and moves together. But yeah, let me just go ahead and ding Matt as well and see if he'll be able to buzz in. And if not, no worries, we'll run it regardless.
Okay, Zeus, since seems Matt is taking a bit longer than planned, shall we start with the questions and then move along?
Yeah, we can give it a go. Obviously there's going to be a good amount of questions that maybe I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
able to field, but yeah.
we shall see. There's already three in a row, so let's go on. So the first one, as I mentioned, is going to be time banded. So you are invited to the stage. Feel feel free to join the two of us here and ask away.
How you doing?
Hey, very good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, there's some real things that are concerning me right now about the marketing because other people have started marketing our stuff and doing copyright infringements. There was a YouTube video, I know you put it out there, Hermes, and I went to it uh, and left about 6 comments. Not very nice, progressively worse. And he's still on. I read the white paper. They've copied everything from us. Uh, if somebody else is going to start doing the marketing before we do, we might be screwed. So I really want that addressed.
So I can answer that one. I'm not sure if Zeus is up to date with that one. So the main problem with that one, and that's the reason why it's taking a bit longer, is it's not a straight phishing case. So phishing ones are really easy. You basically report it to the host, and
Yeah.
the host compare your site with ours. And goes, yeah, that's a copy. Remove it. The problem here is they are using assets that we used, and they're copying certain terms and all that, and that involves a bit more going back and forth with the hosting. It seems to be going well so far, so hopefully the website will be sent down. Um, on the YouTube side, unfortunately, we can't do much because it's someone else made a video about it. We can't do anything about it. But to be honest, from everything I've seen from that project, and I'm going to use lots of bunny ears here, it doesn't seem like they're going to go very far because it really looks like a scam. It's basically a quick attempt to grab some money. So all the assets on the website are stolen, not just from us, but from other projects as well. I've actually reached out to those projects so they were aware of it, because that way it's not just us going after them. And they have really no way of contacting their own team. So there's like one post at the beginning that they say they're disgruntled community members from Meme Kombat, but that seems more like the typical scammer writing a message saying, "Oh, look at us, we're really disgruntled community members just like you," which is not the case. They're basically just trying to do a quick cash grab, and then the website will disappear. Our goal at the moment, obviously, is making it disappear as fast as possible. Because it was taking a bit longer, that's why we made all the announcements that we made, both in Discord and on Twitter, to avoid anyone falling prey to these guys.
Yeah, yes, I understood it was a scam. I mean, it's blatant, but it's kind of disheartening when we see other things like that are on the marketing side, and we haven't done any since the
Um,
launch.
if I can add a bit of information, the YouTuber you mentioned, if you go to the contacts, he's a fiver, so that really probably cost them $5.
Yeah,
I wouldn't exactly
I know.
consider that extreme marketing, to be honest. This is me being
No,
honest. Maddie's going to probably
I'm
tell
just
me off for saying this, but yeah.
I'm not saying that it's extreme. I'm just saying it was there, and I can't find ours on YouTube. Does that make sense? I mean, we don't have any marketing. $5. What's $5? Give him $5. Put us on there.
And if Matt
That's
wants to
that.
pick it up now, does he join us on this
Hi,
part
Matt.
in
How
terms
you
of
doing?
marketing?
Hey, yep. Sorry for jumping in a little bit late. And I think I caught the tail end of that when you were chatting, Time Bandit. But I think that I understood kind of like the concept of the issue that you were raising around scam projects out there, and and in the boldness of them even marketing their scam projects. If I understood correctly, that's kind of the direction that your question was pointed at, around like in relation to the marketing, or the lack of marketing on the MK side
Yes.
compared to,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, I said it was disheartening when we can go on there on YouTube and find something that's fake and not good for us, but we can't find our own real sites being chilled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and not to try to put water on your concerns, because I think that they're absolutely valid. And I share in your frustration as well, because it seems to be, at least in this space, that it's a far easier time to create scams and to push scams out in new and creative ways, where legitimate projects such as MK, when you're working with legitimate promoters and KOLs, as well as traditional Web 2 marketing campaigns, they move much slower, and they're much more thorough in their vetting of the projects, and looking into all the dynamics and the directions that the project is going. Whereas, like Hermes had mentioned, some of these scam projects, can go on Fiverr and pay somebody somewhere between 5 and 25 USD, or whatever,
Yeah.
and then then they have like this video out, and it makes them appear legitimate. I mean, we could, like you had said, very easily just go out and pay somebody $5 or $25, but then we're met with the criticism of like, this is the level of marketing that you're doing, and so it's
Well,
obviously
it's better than none sometimes.
well, and so I at times I tend to agree with that logic, but then we have to kind of look at the project, at the effort holistically, and that a lot of people won't share that sentiment, and so we will end up getting dragged for that. What I can say, though, is that there's been a lot of focus the last couple weeks on putting together a new marketing campaign. We just have a lot of moving parts right now at the moment. Like I'd mentioned during the last AMA, we're actively looking to release our new version of the website, which would be paired along with a lot of marketing material and the next marketing push. One of the things that was raised and brought up to my attention was that when I had mentioned that we're going to be releasing a new website, a lot of the marketing materials that you remember seeing during the pre-sale, they were all basically referencing and going over the website, right? You have somebody talking, providing YouTube content around the website and scrolling through. And then if we were to turn around and completely change the look, feel, and format of our website, we see a lot of disconnection there in terms of people being like, I'm not looking at the right website, or I must be looking at this wrong or something. So we have a lot of things that are kind of coming together all at the same time. We have a developer that's now actively working to implement this new website that should be live. Hopefully, I'm not going to give a date, but sooner than later. Once we have that in place, you'll start to see some YouTube videos being produced and some additional marketing content that's more likened to what we were getting during the pre-sale, as well as some other traditional Web 2, Web 3 style marketing around, like banner ads, articles, things of that nature.
Well, I understand that. I understand. I'm just going to say this, and I'm saying this jokingly, but hurry your ass up.
Yeah. Well, I take it. I take it a little bit different when I hear that Texas tone to it. It sounds very serious. So,
No,
heard.
we appreciate your work. And I know you're doing it a lot. It's just a big concern. That was I saw a lot in the community that was really concerned about it, and so
Yeah.
thanks for your answer. And I do understand we don't want people to we don't want to change the look of the website in the middle of a marketing campaign. That would be terrible. So
Yeah.
totally understand that.
The good news is that I specifically, but as you can kind of maybe tell from your perspective, the feel or the look of support on the team side is getting larger and it's growing. We've added new people to the team, especially in the background, which is now helping us to move quicker. But people coming in fresh also adds a little bit of delay as they kind of get up to speed, not only just with like the tone of voice for the project, but on the development side, getting familiar with the stack and understanding how the platform operates. It's not, generally speaking, something that somebody can just jump right in and start juggling with us. So there is a little buildup, but we're starting to now see some of the results from that. So we're excited about the opportunity to be able to start moving this train a little bit faster. But once we get our new kind of look and feel out there, the marketing will start to pick up rapidly. Although it's not going to be like a turning on of a massive hose. We're going to ease into it a bit because we want to make sure that we're also expending marketing funds that are allocated for marketing, that we're expending those appropriately, and then also timing good market conditions, which I think that by the time that the website is completed, we will see those favorable market conditions to begin doing just that. So things are kind of starting to pick up this week. I'm hoping that by the end of this week that we see a crypto market that's more likened to what we had like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time and keep up the good work, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, sir. And thank you, everybody, for letting me just kind of jump in here. I had told the team that I was going to make it, but I was kind of stuck on a call, and I have to get back onto another one. So I'm only kind of in and out, but I know that you guys are in good hands today with Hermes and Zeus. So I'll stick around for the next few minutes, but I'm going to jump on mute real quick while I figure out some things. So thank you, though.
Okay, well, since we actually have a couple of people in the queue, sorry, let me just send I'm at the back to the others. Off you go. And we have Humble. Seems like a repeat line from last week in terms of figures. So you have been invited, Humble?
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry about the repeat. I'll do the BBC voice. I quite like listening to Time Bandit's voice too. That sudden draw is pretty cool. So there's some great questions there from Pag earlier on that are in the written stuff. I don't know if he's going to step up and ask those, and I'd really like to hear the answer to those. So I don't want to take up too much time here. My question involves around the interaction of the team, the communications of the team, and kind of interactions into the community when your need is there, or B, when there's struggles within some of the active members. I think we had some issues with people posting in the raids that because of the sheer amount, because there isn't a great deal of help there at the moment. They were getting timed out for 14 days. I think they're working their way past that. But, there's kind of little struggles we managed together, and there's stuff going over on Telegram and reaching out those ways. So that those networking is happening, as kind of Matt suggested, network with like-minded people. And some pretty good people are finding some good skill sets, and we're joining up and making good use of those. They could do with some more interaction from you guys. I know Hermes does his best. I hope that generally when we clash, it's joking, because it is from my side. Because we all want the best for this team, or why are we spending our time here, right? So it's just about asking for that, some more cohesive kind of involvement, and bringing us all together really in a helpful way, learning from the past, but also moving forward. There's a lot of push there for the Telegram side of it, and I'm reassured by some of the people that I've spoken to that the issues that I ran into, and Matt, you said you're well, I heard said that you weren't overly keen on Telegram, but it has its place. So yeah, that's really it there, guys. Zeus, some kind of interaction there. You mentioned about that was going to be part of your role. I also noted that there was an admin that I haven't met before called Joe. I welcomed him with a picture too, and but he's been around for a long time, but we don't involved in socials or something. But we don't know anything about this. It's really hard to want to join up with what you're doing, not just to kind of get information out of you, because often we support delays and things if it means a better product, but it's knowing those things in advance and being able to kind of anticipate what we're going to get chucked at in chat, on a day-to-day basis, and how we interact with each other, and our discussions about our hopes for the project and what we've seen, and and possibly bring to you in the future. So yeah, that's it really.
Okay, so I can answer part of the question. It was more of a comment than a question. So the timeouts that you mentioned are not on Discord, so I think there might be a misunderstanding there. The timeouts that people mentioned is actually on Twitter side. Not much we can do that. Hello, Elon Musk. It's the way that he runs his platform. I've mentioned this several times, and with a bit of luck, we might even be able to set it up today, if not worst case scenario tomorrow morning, European time, which is a system that will actually support the raiders, not only support them but actually reward them for it. In terms of the Joe is actually, this has been mentioned quite a lot of time, to be honest, is actually in charge of the social media, like you mentioned. He has the admin role, and I was quite clear on this right from the start. He is not here to admin the Discord. The only reason why he even has the admin role is because it is easier on our end, so he has access to everything on the back end in case something happens and I'm not around and Matt's not around. So we actually have a backup sort of thing. But his main responsibility is actually the social media side. And then when something happens that requires any involvement with the social media, basically I go over to Joe and reach out to him and ask him, hey, is it possible to post this? This is why when you guys ask me, oh, can you post this on Twitter? It doesn't happen immediately because I don't have access to Twitter for security reasons. There's two people that have access to Twitter. One of them is Matt, and then there's Joe that takes care about that. I'm not sure if either Zeus or Matt want to add anything extra on top of this.
No, I mean, I think that was pretty spot on, Hermes. Yeah, and just off, I think possibly even just more to the higher level comment that you were making, Humble, around communication in general about things that are happening. We're working on bringing people up to speed. We've got a number of new faces. It takes some time for them to get confident and comfortable in those roles. Some people's roles have also kind of grown and changed, matured a little bit, taking on additional responsibilities. It also kind of comes with a little bit of growing pains. With all that being said, we're looking to build something not that is just executed in a 30-day window and then we sail off into the sunset. We're looking to build something more long term. So we're asking people, that come and join us to do so with the idea and the intention that it's very much a long-term commitment. Obviously, we can't guarantee that somebody's going to stay a part of the project long-term, but that's the understanding that we're trying to get people to accept. And that's not necessarily tenable for a bunch of people in the Web3 space. A lot of people like to spend, 30, 60 days max working with a project and then move on. And that's not really suitable for what it is that we're looking to achieve. And so we're looking for people with a lens that kind of removes some people as candidates for being, helps, to move the project's initiatives forward. But I think that we're really getting to a positive place. We're putting a really strong team around us that's definitely helpful from my perspective. And I'm really excited about what the next few months will bring, especially as we move into season 2 and beyond. There's a lot of exciting developments that that I'm focusing my time, efforts, and energy on. So, but hopefully any of those concerns or those thoughts that you had around communication will start to work themselves out over the next few weeks, just kind of gradually.
Yeah, I see it happening very soon, and good feedback, Humble, and thank you, Matt. So yeah, we'll definitely be given more to work with in the following week to come. I think a lot of the buttoning up I was talking about in the beginning of this call is gonna be happening, and then the communication that's happening with the team from the buttoning up, Humble, will be able to trickle in more for you and the people that are actively engaging and and rating and all these things and all these efforts to give you a little bit more artillery to work with, and then, from all these, buttoning up of all these, things that we've been bouncing around, how the NFTs interact, et cetera, and all the campaigns that we're going to be forming around these aspects, we're going to be having a lot more ammo for you guys to, be as efficient as possible with all the efforts that you're putting in place. But yeah, it's been a lot of this and that back and forth, figuring out the best, way to move forward that's achievable, that we can market and around and that we can, also can be built upon for the long term. So yeah, I appreciate all the effort and all the different things that you've been doing and different individuals as well. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I've seen you guys want me to ask the questions from Pag. Hold your horses, people. One question at a time. So let me just send Humble back into the audience, and now I'm going to read the questions from Pag. Okay, we just decided let's answer first the questions of people that are here. Okay. 5 questions at a time, yes. Okay, I'll start from the bottom because someone else was already asking this in the chat. Yes, I'm looking at the chat at the same time. So first question is, why is the arena constantly crashing? Can we have better answers than just human error, failed payment, or not enough gas? So on my end, I can answer this partly, and I'll let Matt and Zeus answer the rest, which is on my end, this is literally what the devs tell me. So if the arena crashes, I reach out to the devs, say, look, the arena crashed, there's something wrong, can you have a look at it? Sometimes timetables are a bit off and I don't have anyone available immediately, unfortunately. So sometimes these take a bit longer to be fixed. Hopefully, now that the team is increasing on that side, we can actually improve the reaction time, and these crashes will, if they happen, will be much short. But what happens most of the time is the answer I got back after they say, "Oh, it's fixed," and I ask them, "Okay, what happened?" Because I do need to tell the community what happened. The answer I get is literally what I provide you, sometimes in a bit more technical terms than you guys see. But in essence, it is literally what I post these to you guys. Some of them are silly errors. I mean, the last one we had, which was literally we ran out of battles, was the truth. That's what happened. I did say you need to raise your hand, but in the meantime, it disappeared. But I'll run through all your questions. I mean, if you want to say them out loud, Pag, feel free to raise your hand again. I can pull you to the stage. But I'll read through all your questions. So I'll let now Matt or Zeus answer about the arena crashing and how are we improving this part in terms of better communicating to you guys. If you are talking, Matt, we can't hear you. Matt just broke his own microphone. That's it. Zeus, you want to pick it up while Matt figures out his mic?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, problem solved.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird. My microphone just decided to stop working, but okay. So since we launched the game, early on we didn't really see some of these issues that we see now. And it hasn't been like the same persistent issue over and over again that's caused these these downtimes. Hermes, you can obviously attest to that as well. It's been like 3 or 4 issues that have kind of come up. Some of it is related to some of our third-party services. So with our serverless design for the platform, mostly just obviously to protect user info and the token side of things, since we do have a lot of off-chain token design. We have to maintain a high level of security, which was obviously our priority going into season 1, to make sure that there's no hacks happening. That's also in part the reason why we have this withdraw process the way that it is. Like once you initiate it, you can't stop. Is for security reasons. So that was really our emphasis going into season 1. We've had a number of third-party services that we rely on, both from like a database architecture side as well as from just a communications pipeline between database and front-end services. Those have had some kind of unforeseen interruptions at times, like connectivity issues, both on an API side as well as other connection resources that have had little blips or little intermittent stops of connection, which has led to or has identified, I should say, some areas where we really need to bolster up our infrastructure. And these kind of things happen. We were really rushed to get season 1 out, and we did as much thorough testing as we possibly could. And as you guys all, I'm sure are aware, when we released season 1, we didn't see a lot of these issues. But as we progressed, over the last month or so, we've noticed these things kind of pop up. And that's just kind of the way it works when you develop a new stack like this. So we obviously are taking note of these issues, and we will look to implement improvements in the season 1 framework, if it makes sense. But most definitely looking to make sure that these are no longer issues that are persistent in season 2 and moving onwards and forwards. So we're going to do our best to mitigate it, but it's also kind of at this point a priority of do we divert time and attention and focus away from season 2 to address this, or do we look at just putting stopgaps in place, which is kind of where we're at right now, just to make sure that the season 1 keeps running. But then as we look to sunset season 1, moving into season 2, that these issues obviously don't carry over. So hopefully that's a sufficient enough response.
Okay, and now because Pag has a full list of them, so I'm gonna go through them. What's going on with the dev log? 2 weeks have gone, and the promised high-level logs are nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, so a part of that is obviously, on me. I said that I was going to provide some high-level devlogs. We've had, a lot of communication, a lot of focus, but in terms of being able to actually get in and read what commits the devs are making, I've had a really difficult time connecting with them. Part of that is, me wanting to make sure that I'm having a solid work-life balance, which has resulted in a number of opportunities to connect that have been missed. I've been staying really busy with connecting with non-developer resources, which have been obviously one of our shortfalls over the last couple months. And so to get those people up to speed, people like Zeus and some others that have been added, in order to get them up to speed, you have to spend the time with them. And so I've been really splitting my time as much as I possibly can, but it's been heavily favored with our non-developer teams as of the last couple of weeks, just trying to get them into a place where they're feeling confident and self-sufficient. And so it is very much a priority, obviously, to get devlogs up and going, but it's really not something that I personally want to take ownership of. So.
Okay, in this question, I've seen you guys popping up a bit. No popcorn in the chat, behave, boys. This question has been popping up a bit around the Discord lately, which is, with the current API of 90% and around 44 million tokens staked, it looks like we'll drain the staking wallet in 30 days, presuming the staking is coming from the wallet ending in 911B. Because Matt said on an AMA that the arena is not moving tokens outside of arena, what's the plan here? Will season 2 continue with staking, and if so, where will it be funded from?
The staking pool is not running out in 30 days, number one. Number two, yes, we will continue to have staking as we move into season 2 and beyond. The current staking pool was set up for a 12-month cycle, so obviously we're not anywhere close to that at this point. Well, I mean, we're getting closer, but it's definitely not 30 days away. We will continue to have staking into season 2. Staking and the rewards within the arena are not necessarily intertwined. So, but clearly this question kind of keeps cropping up, worded slightly different, but the exact same question. So we will look to provide maybe some more clarity and clarification around this in the white paper, so that it's information that's more detailed. So Hermes, Zeus, let's add that to our list of things.
Already on it, as you were saying that, so we'll add it to the FAQ and to the white paper, so it clarifies it a bit better, because clearly there's some misinformation or information that we passed to you guys that wasn't interpreted in the way that we thought it was. But we'll clarify this after the meeting that Matt has. I'll poke him as I usually do. He enjoys it. He says he doesn't, but he does. Question number 3, or question number 4, actually, sorry. Are we sitting ducks with spending buybacks to keep prices lower, so when the centralized exchange comes, we can provide a cheaper pair to LP? Example, 1 million USDT equivalent to 1 million MK tokens. Not sure if you understood that.
Yeah, I mean, so there's not like any sort of like nefarious strategy at play with the current token price. What I can say is that obviously we want to be able to tie and make best use of any liquid resources that we use for buybacks and eventual token burns, tied to marketing efforts and marketing campaigns, and getting everybody in a place where they're most effective at their job and their role, so that we can deliver and achieve at the highest levels. Now, with that being said, we are still maintaining that we would enjoy a good centralized exchange listing. Obviously, we can't go out and manufacture the volume solely on the project side that would be suitable for a centralized exchange listing, because that would not be in good favor with a partnership with a centralized exchange. What they're looking for is for a strong level of organic volume for the project, which I believe will come with sufficient marketing as well as with hype that will come with the release of season 2 and as we move the platform forward. I know there's a lot of people out there that are just looking, waiting, and seeing on whether or not we will even release a season 2, or if the project will continue on past what we've already released or already developed, which it absolutely will. It's already happening. We're working on it as we speak. So I think that the culmination of a lot of the hard work that's happening in the background will start to pay dividends in the weeks to come. It's just a matter of being able to roll up our sleeves and get the work done, which is what it is that we're trying to do right now.
There you go. Because someone was asking earlier, I think it was Time Bandit. The Lambos might come. Emphasis on the might. Because, never never compromise for Lambos. Okay, and the last question, which is probably the trickiest one, I'll let Matt answer this one fully. What happened to the dev who needed a deserved away from the keyboard after he sent 3.7 million tokens to a proxy instead of the burn wallet, and when will this be corrected? All yours, Matt.
I mean, so the question of whether or not it can be corrected is still out there. We haven't abandoned hope, obviously, that those tokens that are sitting in a proxy contract could somehow be, eventually moved to the burn address. It's, kind of at a moment where the dev that did the moving is stuck with in terms of their options to complete that. But we do have additional developer resources that are hopefully going to be coming in and helping to determine a solution, because I personally don't want to see those just sitting there and then have to explain it for eternity, why those tokens are there. It's very frustrating and unfortunate, but that's just currently still the situation. What happened to the dev? They're very much still a part of the team. Burnout and long hours continuously do lead to mistakes, which is why we really also want to try to prioritize a good work-life balance. I mean, the same goes for me as well. I'm trying to be the most effective version of myself for the team and for the project, and working 15, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. This pretty much leads to being, ineffective at almost everything. And not to mention that at times I also get kind of punchy with my responses, which nobody likes or appreciates. So very much still a part of the team, and we are still very much looking to find a resolution to that issue, but we haven't nailed one down quite yet.
I suffer in the DMs with him. He's very British. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's a really nice guy. So yeah, the official short reply to normal people, because as usual, Matt took 10 minutes to reply to this, is the dev is still working with us. We haven't burned them as the tokens should have been burned. Those tokens right now are kind of stuck in limbo, so then haven't been burned, but they're not going to be used for anything at the moment. So we just want to make them officially burned, so we're working on that. There's been a couple of questions about the NFTs. So I was just seeing the chat moving. So I'll try and smush them all into one question instead of asking several questions. One of them is, are there any updates, any extra information you can provide the community about the current use of the NFTs for season 2, or if it's still something that we want to keep secret for now? And the other question I've been seeing a lot, and Miko just put it as well, which is, what does the team think of the current prices of the NFT collection and the fact that it's actually going up?
I mean, I don't have anything in regards to speculating on the NFT price or why it goes up or down. What I can say is that as we look to NFTs usage in season 2, I think that within the next week or so, we'll be able to give some insight as to what that may look like without giving away too much. We like to reserve a little bit of hype and excitement for season 2 towards the launch, but I think that we are getting close to being able to at least give some high-level insights as to how NFTs will be used or how they'll apply. What I can say very firmly, though, is that their use and application in Season 2 will not be the same as their use and their application in Season 3 and beyond. So the idea here is that along with each iteration of the game and as it evolves and matures, the legacy NFT collection will also play an instrumental role, although it won't be necessarily a gateway to being able to play the game. Having access to or having ownership of one of the NFTs may provide a varied or different game experience for those that hold them. So excited for all the different directions that we could go, but we'll have more information on specifics in the weeks to come. And with that, I got to jump off, guys. They can take it from here, but we'll catch you next week.
Batman. Catch you later. Topping on the NFT thing, because we've been also going into details. Obviously, internally, we need to know what's going on. One of the things about NFTs, like Matt says, is they will not be mandatory to play. So even if you don't have an NFT, you will be able still to play. If you have an NFT, you will have certain advantages. But what we at least try to do is make sure that just because you have an NFT doesn't mean you are going to win every single time. So we want to avoid a bit of a pay to win, which sometimes happens even in non-Web3 projects. Yeah. So we'll give you some advantages, but it won't be so strong that basically, oh, you have an NFT, that's it, you'll be the top player all time. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Owning an NFT that doesn't mean that the odds will be in your favor to. Oh god, that's too many zeros. 50 million or 5 million to 50. No, no longer. Yeah, I still have to think. You guys keep telling me that there's an address that has more than 100 NFTs. I'm actually curious. I think that might actually be just the creator wallet where we have the NFTs that we are keeping for events. No, it's a different one. Okay, you definitely need to send me at some point that address. I can't find any question that hasn't been answered. So unless you guys have anything you want to add, okay. Of course, I say this and someone pops up a question. So Zeus, not sure if you can answer this one. I know I can't because I have no idea. I haven't had any plans for this, which is not sure if there's any plans for this, but any chance there could be free results in a battle in the future, like a draw, a victory for one side and or a victory for the other.
Sorry, what exactly is the question? So free results?
Yeah, if the end result could be the I have the next question you're going to love. If there could be a free result, so we have fighter A, you have fighter B, and the free results would be fighter A wins, or fighter B wins, or they would draw at the end.
Oh, gotcha. So a draw option. Okay. I mean, it's possible. I'll write it down and we can bring it up. I think we might be having a chat, around all these types of things, later today. Still waiting on one person to respond if that works. But yeah, so a draw option, I guess, would be the biggest add-on, right?
So
Possibly.
right now for what we have for season 1, that is not supported. So it's basically one or the other, right?
Yeah.
For season 2, that might be a possibility. And like Zeus says, we will bring it up in case it hasn't been discussed yet. From my end, as far as I know, that hasn't been brought up yet. So I don't think it has been considered as a possibility. Okay, next question, which is not the question of whether if Zeus fell asleep or not. I'm not going to even comment on that one. The question is, why does Matt hate Telegram? I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah, great question. I'm still trying to, I guess, slowly learn and feel out what all happened, right? I don't know what, Matt must have had many, many sleepless nights. And as he said, been striving towards work-life balance. I've known him for quite a long time, and he's definitely the kind of person who will grind and work all day, every day. and work-life balance is important, in everyone's life, right? And that goes out to everyone here in this community. Thank you all so much for everything you do, but definitely make sure you're doing what brings you, peace, making sure you're drinking water, eating as good as you can, right? Getting out in nature and just finding balance, right? Because this world moves quick and it pulls us into vortexes where we're just so, in it, right? But you got to be able to have balance outside of this space. And yeah, but slowly learning what, all happened in Telegram and like maybe how to ease his mind around how we could do it right moving forward, right? And he can, be detached. And yeah, and then just, maybe even have like some kind of like understanding within the community in Telegram and anyone coming into the Telegram. These are the standards, right? If these are, abused for this amount of time, we're gonna create a timeout for this amount of time. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
So, so
yeah,
I can add a bit of information on that part. So it's not so much we tend to joke and say yeah it's Telegram, but it's not so much of a. The reason I got told, and this is right from the start when Matt asked me if I could come and yes I bought all the NFTs. When Matt asked if I could come and assist with the Discord, was because he felt that Telegram at that point was becoming quite chaotic, as it happens with Telegram channels when they have lots of people. This is a normal issue, and the information was getting lost, and that's why it ended up happening that situation of the mods were getting completely brain dead because they kept answering the same question over and over and over again because the any answer that was given was quickly lost, even if it was pinned there. And he felt that Discord was a bit of more organized issue there. Um, of course, there are advantages to Telegram, and that's why we're kind of keen on bringing Telegram back as well, because we know that many of you don't like Discord. You think Discord is for old people. I even ignore the fact that you called me old every time you say that. And we are intending on bringing Telegram back. We just want to bring it in a way that is improved from what we had before. I know many of you miss some of the things like the Bybot, which unfortunately, trust me, I've lost many sleepless nights trying to find an alternative here in Discord, and for some bizarre reason, we were really surprised when we figured that out that there doesn't seem to be an option on Discord. Whether if it's a rule on the Discord side that doesn't allow bots to do what that one does, um, but yeah, the Telegram is coming back. We will warn you ahead. It's not going to be a stealth release. It's going to be something that we say, okay, Telegram's coming back on this day, but we want to avoid some of the issues that we had in the past, like for example the large amount of scammers that existed there. That as much as the mods worked in terms of beating them, they were still quite a lot of them around them because Telegram does not have such powerful tools like Discord has on the side. So Telegram has its advantages, Discord has its advantages, and we truly believe that they work well together. It just needs to be done in a way that actually makes sense. Okay? Hope that answers the question.
yeah, no,
And
definitely. Telegram has a lot of, advantages as many people are speaking on and this and that. But like you just said, Hermes, there's so many, tactical groups out there that like literally just love to manipulate price, right? So just sometimes it's strange, like just how or why. Sometimes I think it's just people that are bored doing it to do it. But comparably to Discord, just like my experience with Telegram, and I've been heavy in Telegram groups many, many times over many, many years. But Discord's always just been, such a more, professional environment from my experience. But Telegram at the same time can have so much energy. Obviously it's so much easier to adapt and integrate into. So all these different levels of investors in this space and, a lot of, meme coin investors, right? Maybe could potentially be more, comfortable in Telegram and like just a super fast paced flow of it. But then at the same time, you just have to create ways to, create standards and create, flow and but also like how do we address this, that, etc. Because there's so much more waves of, malicious attacks for whatever reasons in Telegram. Yeah.
okay, I already know the answer to this question. I'm going to try to stay as serious as I am, even though Selected asked it in this a very unique way. Um, so something that people have been asking is the 8 minutes between each battle in season one do take a long time. And so what Selected Now asked was if it's possible to have something for them to keep themselves amused while they wait for the 8 minutes. I'll read you the selected question because I think that's unique. Is can we have a 60-second game that we can play on the toilet? Because my girlfriend gets angry if I always stay 8 minutes waiting for it to finish. I know this is going to say yes, even though it was asked this way.
That's funny. Yeah, that'd be awesome, right? I don't know about for season two, but you know, let's bring it up,
Yeah.
if
Well,
for
the
check
thing is,
in.
so just to more serious tone, even though I keep seeing that question on the side. For season two, it'll be a bit more dynamic, so we won't have the 8 minute uh, to for you to wait there. Um, but the question of mini games has popped up before. We have discussed this as well. So there might be a possibility. Don't take my word as something that's going to happen next week or next month or anything like that. Okay, it was just something that we have debated. Especially because these days it's no longer the Web3 that many of us saw a few years ago, where anything happened and could happen and never actually ended up happening because no one had experience in it. And these days there are actually external teams that produce mini games branded for different projects. So we have discussed all these possibilities. They are still on the table. They haven't disappeared. I know someone at some point, I apologize because I can't remember who it was, and it will take me ages now to look it up again. Someone was even suggesting like a sort of a mini game which involved racing with all the memes. And I know that you guys have a pool. Yes, I'm aware that it's there. A pool that also involves bringing in more memes into Meme Kombat, and I'm keeping an eye on that one, and I'm feeding that in the same way that I feed anything that you guys pop into the feedback channel into the team, and this is all discussed. Okay, unless I am missing something, I think that is it for questions. So today we don't actually even have to reply to questions by writing. Like I said, keep your eyes open if you are interested in the raids. Something new and rewarding will be popping up quite soon. We have restarted our Zealy Quest yesterday. That's how brain fried I am. I'm trying to think when it happened. It was yesterday. Most of the feedback you guys provided has been implemented. We will try to add at least one new quest per day at random times, so there's like no advantage to any time zone. And we will cut off the new quests 2 days before the end of the Zealy Quest, so there's no rush until then. We have over 2 weeks to do the quests. Take your time, because what I've seen, many of the quests I've rejected at the moment, I realize sometimes it's basically you guys rushing it, and then I've had people sending me the wrong pictures for the quests. Literally, I've had someone sending me the proof that they had voted in, I think it was Coin Market, if I'm not mistaken, and they sent me a picture that wasn't even Coin Market, it was something else. So they clearly sent me the wrong screenshot of something else. So take your time. There's no hurry. We are trying to make the Zealy Quest in a way that it will not be so much time-based. So there actually will be a bit of difference in terms of scores at the end. Whether it will work or not, you never know. Never know the future. But we are trying to improve that with everything else that we're doing. And as usual, if you guys have any suggestions, any improvements that you would like to see, we do have the feedback channel. Have a look at the community news post that I made, because I think one of the reasons why most of you have been thinking that, oh, this channel doesn't exist, that channel doesn't exist, is probably related to the fact that some of the channels aren't showing up for you because you didn't select them to see them. But yeah, I think that's it. Zeus, any final words before we leave?
Just thank you, Hermes, for being such a rock star. You're amazing, good sir. And thank you, everyone else. Let's keep rocking this, and we will start getting you guys a little bit more artillery, more ammo, to get out there and show the people that this is a project that's here to stay. in this world where it's constant, projects popping up left and right? But we're here to stay, and we're building something for the long term. So I think even in that, in the messaging and how we tell that to all these people on Twitter, here, there, these are people that are building something for the long haul, and that in this space is rare. And let's keep growing this together and having fun along the way. So hope you all have an amazing day, and we'll chat soon. All right, bye bye.